You open your eyes. The sun has risen, the birds are singing, you're still alive! And for now, you're safe. Your gaze wanders across the room to the window and the woods beyond. You wonder if the monsters are lurking there right now, just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the crumbling estate. A familiar unease settles into your gut, tangling into a knot of anxiety wriggling as the events of last night play out in your head. You can't help but remember Duke, slumped against a tree, pieces of him scattered across the clearing. You're not sure if you'll ever feel okay again after what you've seen, but you can't stay in bed forever. Why not? Hunger pulls you from the clammy depths of the mattress. Check on the opossum. You open the drawers to check in on the little opossum you met yesterday. Oh good! He's still here. That's nice. You reach in to pat the little man's. He immediately plays dead. You leave him to his theatrics and close the drawer. Great! The doll didn't move during the night. Maybe it isn't haunted after all. Though, after everything you went through yesterday, that's hardly a consolation. You creep towards the window, careful not to be seen by whatever might be lurking in the garden. For a second, you thought you saw movement. It could have been an animal. Could have been something else. Whatever it was, it's gone now. Probably a good idea to check in with your new friend. You can't imagine she's holding up very well. Might take her a minute to get back to you. In the meantime, time to start your day. You're back in the kitchen. Frou-Frou eyes you from her favorite spot on the counter. I always want to read it as Fur-Frou. Excuse me, ma'am, but may I pet your beautiful fur? Part of you hopes that flattery might win her over. As silly as that may seem, you are, after all, talking to a cat. Frou-Frou merely flicks her tail faster. Doesn't look promising. Hey. Did you know the police called me this morning? You've only been here one day, and you've already had a run-in with the cops. The cops don't matter. Something is coming for this town, and I need people to start listening to me. Duke and Stella didn't take my intuition seriously last night, and look where that's landed us. I need you to believe me. You don't need to spin me tall tales to wiggle your way out of this. Just be careful, and remember that your actions have consequences for the people around you. I don't have the energy to spend this week cleaning up after your messes, so just don't make any extra work for me, okay? Can I hang out with you today? At the mines? No. I've gotta get to work. Whoa! I've gotta get to work. But just stay out of trouble today, alright? I'll try and be back by sunset, and I expect you to be here. I don't want to hear complaints, just do what I ask, and we won't have any more problems. Tabitha takes a few steps towards the door. Sunset. Your cousin humbly exits the kitchen. Her footsteps fade down the hall, ending in the characteristic creak and slam of the front door as it opens and closes behind her. Once again, you are the only human in the estate. It's another tired cat. It's just mirrored! Hope you're holding up okay. Or as good as you can, with all the stuff we saw last night. I was up most of the night on cryptid forums. No real answers yet. I'm at the library now, if you want to join. I have scones. Scones? Say no more. I love blueberry scones. Yum, yum, yum. And that's that. Time to start your day. As your eyes wander to the garden door, you shudder, remembering the brief glimpse of something you saw from your upstairs window. It was probably just a raccoon, but the uncertainty of what you saw gnaws at you and compels you to investigate, if only to prove that it was nothing. At the very least, you don't see anything now. You wander farther into the garden, trying to pinpoint the spot where that thing had been lurking, if indeed there had been a thing to begin with. The garden is peaceful, but undeniably eerie. Here, more than anywhere else, you're surrounded by the ghost of what this place used to be. A greenhouse sits in the midst of the overwhelming greenery, unreachable from years of neglect, its glass clouded and cracked. Statues reach out from within seas of weeds as if begging to be rescued. And most strikingly, behind a pair of rusted metal gates at the very peak of the mountain, sits a graveyard. You can just make out a few of the headstones, the scarlet name carved deep and proud into their faces. You notice what a good view someone would have of your window if they stood where you're standing now. You crouch down, pushing aside the greenery to examine the soft earth. Whoa, a boot print. A big boot print. And what looks like some kind of viscera? Your thoughts turn to the specter from the night before. You snap a quick photo, just in case it comes in handy later. You keep it to yourself for now. No need to cause any worry just yet. Interesting. The scones are later. PB&J is now. You quickly scrape together the ingredients and gobble up a delicious breakfast. And that's that. Tabitha isn't here to stop you now. You head outside, back to the mountain path that leads to town. The walk back to town is much less pleasant today than it was yesterday, when you didn't yet know that the woods were full of monsters and strange men who know your name. You stare anxiously into the darkness between the trees, searching for any signs of movement, but the woods are still, at least for now. The autumn-tinged mountains, sprawling for miles in every direction, now feel less like beautiful scenery and more like the walls of a cage. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Look who I found at the library. Said she was up all night thinking about the video. Adding you to a group text. I'm only here because it's quieter than the store. Or was, lol. And I'm trying to figure out what animal that could be. I don't buy into this harbinger of doom stuff. You know what animals they are? The ditchlings, and they are harbingers of doom. Sounds like they're having fun. Send a heart emoji. You make it to town in one piece. No creatures jumped out at you. No scary men blocked your path. The sight of other people is comforting, helping you forget the things you've witnessed, as if they happened to someone else. Oh, hey Starlet. We were just talking about you. I stopped by Sybil's to pick up her new tea blend, and, well, you're the biggest thing to come into town since the coal mine. Folks have been absolutely buzzing about you. You went out with Stella last night, right? Did something happen out there? She barely even waved when she walked by. You tell Avery everything that happened last night. I have no idea what those things were, but they Killed Duke and whoa, slow down. Duke is dead? It's true, I'm afraid. That's awful. Has anyone told Beau? Yes. He's taking it as well as you can imagine. I'll be going up to check in on him today. The poor lad. Can't believe you had to see that, Starlet. Tell you what, I'm on break for the next half hour. How about you swing by the diner? Winnie can fix you some of Sybil's new blend and try to calm your nerves. It's chaga and lemon balm. It's always helped me on the bad days. And if you need to talk about what happened, I'm all ears. Anyways, it's up to you. See you around, Starlet. See ya, Sybil. Take care now, Avery. I'd better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning, if only to see how you were holding up. Please don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help. We both know that there's something horribly wrong about this place. How are you so calm? Don't mistake my calm demeanor for complacency. We all have our parts to play. I trust that you, Stella, and Kanika have what it takes to get to the bottom of things. I'm so sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things that need tending to. Stay safe, Starlet, and God bless. The diner is a little quiet today, but the air is still heavy with a tantalizing smell of breakfast. You slide into the booth across from Avery. Hey there, stranger. Before you can exchange words, Winnie sidles up, a fresh mug of tea in hand. Heard you might need this, and don't worry about paying for it. The funeral has you worried plenty already, I'd bet. And the answer to 29 down is oink. What? But the clue is pen sound. How is that a sound a pen makes? A pig pen? Big brain. Wait, pen like pig pen? Are you kidding me? How was I supposed to guess that? I don't know why you even bother with those things. They're just gonna frustrate you. It's just something to do to fill the time. But maybe I should switch to Sudoku. Yeah! I love Sudoku! Give me a Sudoku to do. So, thanks for telling me about last night. If you want to really get into the grisly details, you can tell me. I won't judge. The man in the far back corner clears his throat as you bring the cup to your mouth. Don't mind Julius. I don't think he drinks anything other than coffee. You just got an interview out of nowhere. Congrats? Question mark? That out of nowhere sounds interesting. And welcome back to Korok as well. Don't mind Julius. I don't think he drinks anything other than coffee. You take a gentle sip of your tea. Sybil was right. You can already feel it begin to ease some of the strain and tension from last night's events. Color me impressed. Not a lot of folks take to chaga so quickly. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know anything about tea or anything. What if you don't believe me? I'm not here to judge. I'm here to listen. You share everything. Glad to have someone to talk to about the horrors you've witnessed. Wow. That is some heavy stuff. Why is he glaring at me? I'm just sitting here. No wonder Stella seemed distant. Monsters in the woods. I've never heard of anything like that around here. I mean, I know I haven't been around that long, but I feel like that's the kind of thing people would talk about. How exciting. Now that I think about it, when the cops came in for their morning coffee, they mentioned something about going out to the woods to look for someone. It must have been Duke. They seem so disconnected from it. I figured it couldn't be very serious, but wow. He's probably out drinking with his shotgun again. Julius, didn't anyone ever teach you not to speak ill of the dead? Oh my gosh. Let's be a little bit conspiratorial. What if the cops are in on it? They seemed so nonchalant. I understand the suspicion, but that's just how they are. They spend most of their time in here drinking coffee. Every now and then they break up a fight between drunk miners or arrest somebody for cooking meth in the woods. The way they tell it, it always sounds like some big sting operation, but it's usually just some guy in a trailer. Do you regret moving here? Ooh, they did a console release for Slay the Princess. That's fire. I don't think I have the choice to have second thoughts. I'm not going anywhere without Aunt Winnie, and there's no way she's leaving this place. And I found my place here, I think. I can't say I feel like uprooting again anytime soon, so I think that means I like it well enough. Shouldn't uproot too often anyway. Stresses out the plant. I hadn't pegged you as a transplant. Where are you from? I moved here from Charlotte something like 3 years ago now? Maybe a little more. Lost track. Aunt Winnie offered me a place to stay and a job, and who was I to pass on that sort of generosity? To be honest, it still feels like I just moved in. Practically everyone apart from the Cole folks grew up in this town, so it's like I'm the perpetual new kid. Don't get me wrong, folks here are plenty polite and friendly, but there's a shared history I'll never be a part of. I get it. I felt out of place the whole time I've been here. It's not like it's terrible, right? But there's a feeling, like people are looking at you longer than they should. Town of nosy assholes, if you ask me. The muttering came from the man in the back booth. He straightens his newspaper, hiding behind it, as if pretending he hadn't just weighed in on your conversation. Says the guy who is listening in on other people's conversations. Maybe you're one of those nosy assholes, huh, Julius? The man continues to hide behind his newspaper. Must be the best I didn't even think about it like that. Oh, goodness. Especially because they like plants too, right? That's beautiful. Oh, Avery. So you know it runs, true. Julius. Why'd you leave Charlotte? If you don't mind me asking. Nah, it's cool. I was having some issues with my folks about my education, which, wasn't great. Especially since I was still stuck under their roof. When my aunt heard about it, she offered me a job and a place to stay, and the rest is history. Did you say all this was exciting? A man's dead, Avery. Exciting doesn't have to mean good, but nothing ever happens around here. Like, don't get me wrong. It's awful that you and Stella had to go through all that. Definitely. And I feel for Duke's family. But it really gets the adrenaline pumping, I bet. Being in a situation like that. It's one way to put it. My coffee's out. Oh no, and you've only had 5 cups today. How are you going to survive? Kidding. I'll just be a second, Julius. Well, Starlet, looks like I'd better get back to it. Hope you're feeling a little better. Maybe the Chagas had a chance to start working its magic. Oh, but before I go, I'm throwing a party this weekend. Nothing fancy, just a little get-together. Avery grabs a napkin, pulling out a pen and quickly scribbling something on the thin paper before handing it to you. That's my place. Come by any time after 6 on Saturday. It's almost Halloween, and it didn't seem like anybody else was gonna throw one, so I stepped up to the plate. Though, if you didn't come prepared with a costume, don't worry. I'm sure I can convince the bouncer to let you in anyway. Avery slips out of the booth, giving a friendly half-wave before disappearing into the back. I've seen a few of them things up near my place, you know. Bullets do 'em just fine. The man hides behind his newspaper, clearly uninterested in saying another word. This is your first time seeing the general store in the light of day. A young man sits at the table by the register, too preoccupied with his phone to care that you stepped in. Here you go. See ya. Hi, I'm Scarlet. I just got to town yesterday. Yeah, I know. Mom told me. What's your name? Miles. What you doing on your phone? Games. Probably haven't heard of them. You want to bet? Oh, I like that the Sia turned into Sia Miles after learning his name. That's fun. Do you know how to get to the mines? Maps are free. You take a map of the town. The mines are a couple of miles away, but you now have the power to visit your cousin of your own free will. So, if I wanted to buy some chips or something, do I talk to you, or Miles sighs? I guess, yeah. Kanika decided to skip work today, so of course whatever plans I had didn't matter. Just take the chips. I don't care. I'm paying for my chips. I insist. I'm not ringing you up. Take 'em or leave 'em. Wouldn't that be stealing? If Kanika cares about running this place right, she can hire someone else and let me live my life. We make most of our money on bulk orders anyways. A bag of chips doesn't make a difference. I'm not going to steal. Have it your way. See you, Miles. Miles doesn't respond as you turn and leave the general store. Oh. Oh, the temptation. Korok, stop stealing my luck. You enter the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has since been converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. Oh, hey, you made it. You head over to Stella's table and settle in. You made it! Glad you could join us. Morning, Starlet. You look tired. Oh, thanks. Snitch on Miles is crazy. It's okay. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Oh, there is. You can't just tell someone they look tired. I'll sleep when I'm dead. You've got important work to do. Yeah, I'm eager to crack into these books. Agreed. Anyways, I guess we should get started. Before you dig in, you remember the boot print you found in the garden. It's probably nothing. No need to share what you found with the rest of the class. At least, not yet. Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger. Your library is incredible. I can't imagine how much work you have to put into maintaining this sort of collection. Oh, thank you. Hey, Oscar. This is Starlet. You know, Abby's cousin. Oh, I should have known you were a Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I'm still a little kid when she left. But that Scarlet resemblance, it's, strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, Chief Librarian and only librarian. Oscar's amazing. He practically built this library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of what the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple shelves of boring books donated by old people. Y'all are too kind, but speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my text, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs around with. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. What's the old Maxwell place? It's this great, old abandoned spot. It's practically a magnet for young people. Even honor students aren't free from its call. Can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese. I should really have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home. I don't like the thought of teens getting up to mischief with all those ditchlings in the woods. Ditchlings? That's actually why we came in today. Have you ever heard of them? Apparently seeing one's supposed to mean a disaster's around the corner. Doesn't ring a bell. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try and figure out what sort of disasters this region typically falls prey to. Or should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna go nab some more books. Behave while I'm gone, Gretchen. Hehehehe, puppy. You're such a good dog, aren't you, Gretchen? Here, have a biscuit, old gal. She looks so much younger. Being offered a biscuit. Gretchen inhales a soft biscuit, drool leaking from her toothless mouth as she swallows it whole. Pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on out in those woods. Yeah, I know. Puppy! Look how puppy happy. Anyways. Do you really not feel where all this is going? The moment their whispers made their way to me, it's like everything started to click into place. A reckoning is coming for this town. I'm gonna try calling Rosalina again. I'm sure she's fine, really. Don't mind Starlet. She's been hanging out with Stella too much. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting into trouble, and we'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. Starlet, if you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses, would you let her know her dad is worried about her? Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Got him. Just grabbed a whole mess of local history books. Alright. This is gonna be so much faster with the two of you here to help out. Got our snacks, got our books. Let's get this research party started. Historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow. Just the thought of reading a book like this would probably put most people to sleep. But you've got a mystery to solve, and to solve it, you need to know everything there is to know about this town. Ooh. Hee. The Scarlet Estate, and arguably the most striking piece of architecture in Scarlet Hollow, and the most elaborate and elegant estate in the region prior to the construction of the Biltmore in 1895. Andrew Jackson Scarlett chose the location to be atop a hill in Scarlet Hollow's geographic center, so that it might be seen from the town below. It remains a constant reminder of the family who carved Scarlet Hollow from the wilderness and provided wealth and prosperity to its residents. First used as a field hospital during the Civil War, it was named for Silas Scarlett's eldest son, who perished in the bloody conflict. It still stands at the end of what is now the residential district of Scarlet Hollow and has served the health of the community for over 100 years. In the late 1800s, as the town prospered from a coal boom, additions were built onto the house and it was transformed into a sanatorium, bringing in prestigious clientele from around the world. They believed the fresh mountain air would do them well, and Scarlet Hollow became a tourist destination for patients of all afflictions. The clinic still operates to this day as a doctor's office and stands as a building of cultural significance. The original mining facility is no longer standing, having been destroyed in the collapse of 1918. Though the new facility, outfitted with all the cutting-edge technologies of the industry, is in itself a fine example of practical construction, the first iteration of the mining camp was a true product of its time, and what few photographs exist are an interesting peek back at a different era. One can still visit the site of the original Scarlet coal mine, though all that remains are a few abandoned tunnels closed off to the public. Situated on the edge of Scarlet Hollow's farmlands, the Tremaine homestead was one of the earliest settlements in Scarlet Hollow, predating even the town's famous coal mines. For many decades, the Tremaine family maintained the largest farm in Scarlet Hollow, but a break in the family led them to split the land in two, and the homestead along with it. Despite the many changes made to the two halves of the Tremaine homestead in the subsequent decades, the original log structures are still visible and maintained to this day. They are undoubtedly the oldest buildings left standing in Scarlet Hollow. One of the first buildings constructed by the Scarlet family, the Scarlet Hollow First Baptist Church, still sits on its original foundation, though the building was reconstructed to accommodate the influx of citizens during the Scarlet Hollow coal boom of the late 1800s. Attendance has dwindled since the infamous mine collapse of 1918, and while the building may have fallen into disrepair, its simple vaulted ceilings still evoke awe to any who enter. Silas Scarlet personally funded the town hall's construction as the first municipal building in the then small community of Scarlet Hollow. It has stood at the end of Main Street since before the Civil War, its white columned edifice withstanding the ravages of the 1860s and continuing to stand to this day, a stunning piece of antebellum architecture. After the town of Scarlet Hollow switched to a dog-mare system of governance in the 1920s, the building has been put to different use, though the upstairs still house the town archives and a special ceremonial office for events with the mayor. So the mayor of Scarlet Hollow is a dog. I love that. Do we wonder if Gretchen ever ran for mayor? I think she'd do an amazing job. Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by his short stint, serving as a captain in the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet also lost his eldest two sons to that bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Book smart, Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry, managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet estate that was, until 1895, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son, Theodore. Oh, what a mouthful. His brother, Enoch V. Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of the 12 siblings. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state's There's not a comma there. During a tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particular ruthlessness, for which he received the nickname Bloody Silas Scarlet. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow. But it started as a simple log cabin, built by Silas's own 2 hands, occupied by his family of 10, Silas, his wife Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children. Logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. Booksmart! Oh my gosh! He. The Mothman is a large flying creature, generally described as humanoid with glowing red eyes. It was first spotted by a couple in West Virginia in the mid-1960s and was encountered in the region several more times in the following years. The Silver Bridge collapse of 1967 has been linked to a series of Mothman sightings, and it's said that the presence of the creature served as some sort of omen or was a catalyst that led to the disaster. This has since become an important aspect of Mothman, with sightings of this cryptid often taken as a sign that some great misfortune is soon to follow. Though the Pine Barrens, the place where this creature is said to have been born, are far from the Appalachian wilderness, sightings of the Jersey Devil have been documented all throughout the forests of the eastern United States. According to popular legend, the Jersey Devil was born to a woman named Jane Leeds. Leeds, upon realizing she was pregnant with her 13th child, and daunted by the task of giving birth yet again, cursed the child in her womb, proclaiming it would be the devil itself. Though born as a normal child, it quickly transformed, gaining a goat or horse's head, large bat wings, and a forked devil's tail. Kicking at the family and lashing out with its tail, it flew up the chimney. I'm sorry, it made me think of the night before Christmas. It flew up the chimney and out into the night, disappearing into the Pine Barrens. The Jersey Devil is one of the oldest cryptids in North American history, with sightings spanning back through the 1800s all the way to the origin of the myth in the late 1700s. It's said to move with incredible speed and is recognizable by its high-pitched, blood-curdling scream. Oh! It's safe to say life was hard in the South after the Civil War. The land and its people had been ravaged by conflict, and many turned to unusual industries to get by. One such industry was that of ginseng diggers? Or sang diggers? As they were colloquially known, who eked out a meager living for themselves by digging up and selling wild American ginseng. Myths surrounding sang diggers were plentiful, but most prominent among them was that of the ginseng baby. It is said that if you dig up a ginseng root on the night of the new moon, it'll cry like an infant and leave blood in the earth when it's torn free. That's crazy. The parallels to European mandrake myths are clear. I was thinking about mandrakes, and I even just saw the picture. And it can be assumed this myth arose from cross-pollination from European immigrants. But perhaps on the night of the new moon, you should go out and dig up a ginseng root, see if it cries, and check the earth for its blood. For it could be that the myth spread not through legends passed down through immigrant families, but from the unsettling experiences of these Appalachian foragers. One of the most famous hauntings in North American history, the Bell Witch was a strange entity that plagued the citizens of the Red River region of Tennessee in the early 1800s. Many strange phenomena has been attributed to the witch through the years, but the most famous was the haunting of the Bell family. It started out as a fairly typical haunting, with unnatural sounds echoing throughout the house after sundown, and the appearance of a strange mammal that no one could identify or capture. Unlike other hauntings, though, these acts quickly escalated to attacks on the family, and in particular, the daughter, Elizabeth Bell. She was constantly covered in bruises from the spirit's abuse. The spirit could frequently be heard speaking through the walls, its disembodied voice mocking the family and any visitors, and it eventually escalated to giving full-blown hallucinations to those dwelling in the Bell house. Though this haunting ended in the early 1800s, its activity continued in the region for many decades. It could be that the entity known as the Bell Witch may still dwell in the Red River region to this day. The Hopkinsville Goblins case was a supposed close encounter with extraterrestrials in the 1950s near Hopkinsville, Kentucky. During the incident, 5 adults and 7 children arrived at the local police station, claiming that a group of small, chrome creatures had besieged their farmhouse for hours. When police arrived on the scene, they found bullet holes and spent shells, but little else in the way of evidence. Skeptics suggest the family had simply misidentified a group of great horned owls. Even so, the incident remains one of the most thoroughly corroborated and documented cases of extraterrestrial contact. Often linked to Cherokee legends, some cite the Wampus cat as originating with the story of a woman who sought vengeance against a monstrous cat demon for driving her husband mad. She hunted it down and by wearing a bobcat mask, tricked it into using its own vile magic on itself, freeing the people of their region from its evil. Others say the creature comes from the story of a woman who wore the pelt of a wildcat to witness forbidden hunting rites. The hunters of her village gathered to perform the rites, and she watched in secret from underneath the cat's pelt, but it was soon discovered. For her indiscretion, she was fused with the pelt and transformed into a creature that was neither human nor cat, forced to wander the wilderness alone, feared by all. Her calls are those of great sadness, and serve as a warning to anyone who dares go against tradition. Tommyknockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supports of mines and collapse them on whoever is unfortunate enough to still be inside. They are traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun-like beings, but some claim they are the spirits of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. There is a hunter who lived in a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, all alone with his hunting dog. One night, after a particularly bad week of hunting, both their stomachs empty, the hunter spied something out of the corner of his eye. Some small creature had gotten into the cabin through a hole, and before he could even figure out what it was, he'd drawn his gun and fired at the thing, his hunger guiding his actions. I was quick and ran back through its hidey hole and out of sight, leaving only its long, black tail, shot off by the hunter's rifle. "Guess this'll have to do," he said to the dog, and threw the tail in a pot to cook a soup. He and his dog ate well that night, the tail filling them both up. The hunter crawled into bed, satisfied, and his dog curled up at his feet. He woke up to the sound of long nails scrabbling across wood. His dog was nowhere in sight, only a rumpled spot on the covers where he'd been, and in the gloom, he saw 2 big, yellow eyes staring right at him. "I want my Telepo," a high, hoarse voice croaked from the darkness. "Go away," he screamed at the thing, and stepped closer to him, still shrouded in darkness, the sound of long claws dragging across hardwood accompanying its movements. "I want my Telepo," the creature growled again. "I'll get my dog after you," the hunter squeaked, his voice catching in his throat with fear. But there was no dog to be seen. "I want my Telepo!" Before the hunter could so much as scream, the creature leapt from the darkness, long claws stretched out towards the hunter. No one is sure what the creature did to him that night. But the next morning, all that remained of the hunter, his dog, and his cabin was a chimney, standing alone in the woods. I think I'm all done. Let's check in. Alright, if we're going with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can rule out any natural disasters as what brought the ditchlings here, but not nuclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything? Cat. Before you can respond, a handsome black cat leaps onto the table. Almost on instinct, Stella slams her book shut. Aw, hey Pixel. You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he can find. Don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats. Pixel immediately goes to town on Stella's treats. Sorry if Pixel's bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of our books. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him. Why do you let a paper shredder freely wander a library? Have you seen this little guy's face? How could I say no to that? Cat. Alright, I better get back to shelving. Let me know if y'all need anything. Alright, let's talk about historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow. Oh my god, did you read that? That book was assigned as punishment if we misbehaved in school. It's an excellent sleep aid. NyQuil and melatonin have nothing on historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow. Rumor has it that nobody has read it from cover to cover. You guys are missing out. It's one of my favorite books here. Such rich history. Guess we're just kindred spirits. Guess we're just kindred spirits, Starlet. Look, this town has deep lore, and I am here for all of it. Oh, definitely. I brought this book here for a reason. I'm just surprised someone finally got through it. The Tremaine homestead seems like the only thing here that doesn't have the Scarlet name stamped on it. Yeah, I think they've been around these parts even longer than your family, though they're the Tremaines and the Callaways now. They literally split their farmhouse in half over that schism. Duke, rest his soul, was one of the last two Callaways left. Guess it's just down to Bo now. Can't imagine what he's going through right now. Why don't people go to church here? You just never really had a good past around these parts. Not as long as I've been around, at least. I'm not really much of a church person anyways. Who has the time? The building gives off weird vibes, too. Not in the fun, haunted way. Even the hospital here is named after my family. I know it's the name, but calling it a hospital is generous. Right now, it's a one-woman medical clinic. If any serious emergencies happen these days, we've got to call an ambulance from out of town. That's where Reese and his mom live. She's the town doctor, though these days she doesn't really see a lot of patients. Stella, when were you going to tell me that the mayor is a dog? Hot darn, I was hoping it'd be a surprise. Scarlet Hollow hasn't had a human mayor since the 1920s. Yeah, if you were hoping the mayor might be able to help us out here, you're out of luck. What happened to the estate? At some point, the hill it was built on started falling apart. I think it's pretty stable at this point, though. Is it? Stella, you've seen the place. And half of it is still mostly okay. So about the coal mines here. Kanika visibly shudders. I get cold sweats just thinking about being in a place like that. I feel for the guys who work up there. I could never. Speak for yourself. I love a good crevice. What happened after the mine collapse? The book just kind of glosses over that. There was a union for a little bit, but it didn't last. There's not a whole lot written about the past century here. Yeah, the Scarlet Hollow mine isn't exactly the most ethically run business. I'm sure Tabby runs the mines better than Charles Shaw did. Still hasn't let the union in, though. There's a reason that she and I don't talk. Ooh, I do like the... History tends to be written by winners. Maybe there's more to Charles Shaw's story than these dusty old books are letting on. Normally I'd be inclined to agree with you there, but we're talking about an old-timey coal boss. I'd be shocked if he wasn't cutting corners. Scarlet does make a fair point. Shaw was certainly a problematic figure, but there might be other details that were lost to time. Sure, but the guy was run out of town on a rail. And that's not a figure of speech. Back then they actually tied you to a rail and ran you out of town. There's a big mural of it over on the far wall. He got off easy, if you ask me. A union-busting mine collapse from poor working conditions. Color me shocked. Yeah, it's pretty awful. That's what that sculpture out front is for, commemorating all the men and children who died that day. Every kid in Scarlet Hollow learns about the collapse of 1918. Our teachers love to emphasize how many children they had working down there, probably to try and show us how good we have it or whatever. Low bar, if you ask me. You know, that could be what the ditchlings are warning us about. Another collapse. Writing it down on the list of potential disasters. Yeesh, Stella, that's morbid. And besides, it was all Charles Shaw's fault. The labor market is way more strict now. There's no way you could get away with the kind of safety cutbacks he pulled. Y'all don't actually think the mine is about to collapse, right? No, I don't think so. Phew, had me worried there for a second. I hate to give Tabitha any credit, but the mine is safer now than it was back then. Still, what a horrible thought. You never know. I'm not sure I agree with the collapse angle, but the mines seem important. The whole town is built around them. Yeah, that's fair. They're bound to be relevant in some way. Hard to argue against that, but that doesn't really give us much to go on. And just because something seems obvious, it doesn't necessarily mean it's right or relevant. Do you think Wayne factors into any of this? That creep who keeps coming around my mom's tea room? He snuck up on us last night and called out Scarlet by name. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with him. Maybe he's sick. Maybe that has something to do with what you saw in the woods. I don't know. I'd buy it. So Silas Scarlet, what a revisionist biography, really glosses over all the war crimes to paint a picture of a self-made man. It's a perfect example of why you should use multiple sources for your research instead of trusting the first thing you read on a subject. Yep, dude was a monster. Sorry you related to him. Do you think the ditchlings are here for retribution? That seems tenuous. Assuming Kanika's mom's right, they're here as an omen, not because they're going to do something themselves. I think we know how I feel on the matter. So Appalachian folk monsters? Oh, so many options. Hopkinsville goblins were silvery, small, and traveled in a pack. There's a lot of similarities to ditchlings there. Those are 100% confirmed aliens, though. Unless the Hopkinsville goblins were just a couple of owls some drunk farmers saw at 3 a.m. They're not aliens. And before you say it, no. Ditchlings aren't aliens either. The whole implanting thing we saw last night feels consistent with stories about aliens. It's as consistent with stories about aliens as it is consistent with stories about parasites, and parasites just feel a lot more plausible to me. Aw, come on, Neeks. Let a little joy into your heart. I'll let joy into my heart when this mystery is solved and I don't have to worry some parasite is gonna lay eggs in my skin. Gross. Why is the Jersey Devil even in this book? The Pine Barrens are specifically not in Appalachia. Because he's cool? I don't know what that voice was. The Jersey Devil is like the granddaddy of North American cryptids, and it's kinda close to Appalachia. Back when I was a kid, I always wanted one as a pet. The Bell Witch sounds terrifying. Yeah, no kidding. Thankfully, she isn't real. Ugh. I have never heard of ginseng babies before this. Oh yeah, that myth is pretty buried, but the author managed to unearth it for this book. Get it? But seriously, whoever wrote this book definitely stretched things out so they could include some of their favorite stuff, like how the Jersey Devil is in it. Have you seen what ginseng roots look like, though? Creepy stuff. Creepy, but incapable of screaming. Yeah, that's one of those things that even I don't buy into. I have a lot of fun reading lore and stuff. I'm so fascinated. And hello, Salem. My mom used to tell me that Tilipo story back when I was little. I can't believe I forgot that one. It scared me so bad I didn't eat soup for years. I thought a monster might try and dig it out of my stomach if I did. I love that one. There's this old chimney in the woods that I used to think... Hello? So true. Water. Water. Salem, I don't know how you do this for long periods of time. There's this old chimney in the woods that I used to think was the chimney from Talipo, the one that was left after the thing did whatever it did. Now I know that's just because chimneys don't burn down, and wooden houses do. That doesn't mean it's not the chimney from Talipo. I've camped out there a couple times and seen some pretty spooky stuff. Yeah, I watched that video. You saw raccoons. You're gonna get rabies one of these days, chasing after wildlife like that. What can I say? I like to live on the edge. I feel like saying this just to be funny. I don't actually think that this is true. There's some striking similarities between Mothman and Ditchlings. Both of them are portents of doom. Okay, you know, that's actually true. I forgot that I mentioned that. Mothman. Love that guy. There's a whole subgenre of cryptids that serve as bad omens, but the disaster angle is definitely a clear connection. Maybe Mothman is what happens when a ditchling is all grown up. But they're already reproducing. And they don't have wings, and they're pale and blobby. Huh. They have a certain caterpillar vibe, don't they? Why am I even engaging with you on this? Portents of doom aren't real. Do you think Wayne is a Tommyknocker? Maybe he's the ghost of a dead miner. There's something seriously wrong with the guy, and we should definitely look into it, but I don't think he's a ghost. Yeah, ghosts tend to be tied to a specific place, though maybe he's haunting the whole town. He's not a ghost because ghosts aren't real. I've also seen him, like, touch stuff. Let's move on. Oh boy. The mines are the obvious common thread between everything we've researched. Between Wayne, the old collapse, and the fact that the whole town's practically been built around them. They're the smartest places to start our investigation. Good idea. There's an awful lot of mines-related stuff in my notes. You can poke around, find out if anyone's seen anything weird. Just to clarify, you two are suggesting we go to question some of the miners, right? We are not poking around unprepared in the actual mines. Right? Right? Yeah, totally. 100%. I would never. We don't even have a good reason to go down there. Good. Let's keep it that way. You know how I feel about mines. Promise, Neeks. We're just going to question some of the miners. And if that questioning gives us a good reason to poke around, say, cool abandoned coal mine, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You can cross that bridge when we come to it. I am not going underground. I'm just messing with you. I'll stick to the surface. Gretchen makes me so happy. Yeah, and hopefully we can find out what happened to Wayne while we're at it. Awesome, let's roll. Look at us, going out on a caper together? I miss this. I missed it too. Though, there is something missing. Reese. I really miss that dude. I can't believe how long it's been. Have you seen him lately? Nope. I've tried to plan stuff, but he's been too sick. Reese! I didn't realize it was getting so bad. That poor guy. You know, we could just pop over and surprise him. He seemed excited to meet Scarlet. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave. Hell yeah, let's do it. See ya, Oscar. We'll let you know if we run into Rosalina. Thanks, guys. I'll keep you all posted. Reese's home stands at the edge of the forest wall, an isolated buffer cushioning the rest of the town from an unending wilderness. Unlike several of the other entries and historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow, this one still looks mostly like it did in the book. Reese, it's Stella. I brought some buddies too. Shh, not so loud. He's still sleeping. Can I help you with something? The woman in the doorway stares directly into your eyes. You can practically feel her simmering irritation washing over you. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out. Nothing strenuous, we promise. I'm not going to wake him up. If he's sleeping, he probably needs it. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyways. Oh no, poor Reese. It's just been so long since either of us have gotten the chance to hang out with him. I'm sure he and Scarlet would get along super well, too. Stella, if Reese is that Whoa! If Reese is that sick, we shouldn't be dragging him along on adventures. Stella mutters under her breath. Snitch. That's really funny. Reese's mom turns back to the house, sighing. Sorry, I know that was a little rude. You just want to hang out with Reese, and he misses both of you, too. He's usually feeling his best around mid-afternoon. Why don't you come over tomorrow? We can have some supper, and y'all can hang out for a bit. I don't promise that it'll be perky, but I'm sure it'll brighten his spirits to see you two again. And I suppose you can come too, Starlet. That would be great! I can bring a side dish. Maybe deviled eggs? Does he still eat those? No. Eggs are a little much for him. They don't settle well. You can leave the cooking to me. I know what he can handle. Okay. I'll bring soda then. That's not... Okay, yes, fine. You can bring soda. Nothing with caffeine. Ginger ale, preferably. Oh, and leave the dog at home. She might cheer him up. You know, they have those therapy dogs in hospital. No dogs. Thanks so much, Dr. Kelly. We'll stop bothering you now. See you later. Dr. Kelly nods in acknowledgement and quickly shuts the door. The sound of several locks clicking into place can be heard from within. God, that woman makes me so nervous. She used to be so nice when we were kids. Always had the best stickers when we had to get our shots. Maybe she's just stressed about Reese. Maybe she's just nice to kids. Either way. Oh my gosh, why does the British want to come out? Ah! I guess it's just the three of us. You gonna drive? As I hit my right mouse button again? Yeah, sorry. I don't like the thought of going up there without the van. Cool. I'll take my shortcut then. It shouldn't take long for me to get there. You're welcome to tag along, Starlet. Don't worry. I won't be offended if you'd rather ride with Kanika. I'm sure you're probably sick of the woods. Either way works for me. Alright, Stella, what is actually up with you and cars? The mines have gotta be a ways off, right? Don't worry about it, Starlet. There's a lot of junk in the back of my van. It's a little tight with more than two people. I'm not gonna have her walk alone. That just feels irresponsible. The woods are calm and serene compared to last night, though you can't help but feel that danger lurks just beyond the trees. Hey, thanks for coming with us. With Gretchen and me, I mean. I hope I haven't seemed too cold about everything that happened last night. The truth is that I'm barely keeping myself together. I just don't know how to let it out. Duke died out there last night, and I can't stop thinking that it might have been my fault. If only I didn't drag you along in the woods. If only I'd listened to you when you wanted to leave. If only I'd did anything when everything went sideways. I'm sorry. Stella pauses, searching for what to say. It's like there's this guilt boiling under my skin, but the only way I can process what happened is by turning off the part of me that feels things. When I'm around other people, like I think of Duke dying as just a thing that happened. It's just part of another video. Because if I actually admit to other people that I feel something, then I'd have to admit to myself that what happened is my fault. What happened happened. You have to make the choice to move forward. Thanks, Scarlet. You're right. I should be better at taking my own advice. Glad we could talk about this, though. Can't imagine what it'd be like to go through something like last night alone. Conversation comes to a dramatic halt, with you, Stella, and Gretchen all whirling around to face the source of the sound. Whoa, calm down, girl. It's just a bird. Same probably goes for the two of us. Guess we're all a little on edge. Let's hurry to the mine. Shouldn't be much farther. Kanika casually leans against her van as you and Stella emerge from the woods. Hey, y'all have a good walk? Yeah, it was great. I mean, not you were messing out or anything. You didn't run into any of those creatures, did you? Nope. That makes sense. They're probably nocturnal. I don't know if I should feel relieved or disappointed. But we're all here. What's the plan? I guess we should just go talk to people. I guess so. I should probably be on lookout duty. I'm a bit of a persona non grata in the mines. Tabitha? Yeah, I might have tried sneaking in to talk to her a time or two too many. And Gretchen makes it extra hard to be sneaky. We're probably less likely to get caught if only one of us is snooping around down there. I take it I'm the one of us you're talking about. Tabitha and I aren't exactly friends, and pretty much all the miners shop at the general store. I don't want to make folks uncomfortable, you know? It's probably for the best, Starlet. Talking to people scares me. I've got this. You'll do great. So, the plan? You know those cheesy old rom-coms where somebody wears an earpiece on their first date? Whoa, I don't know. Don't ask. Whoa, do you have some kind of surveillance set up in the back of your van? That I didn't know about. What? No. I have a pair of earbuds with a really good mic. We can just do a group call. Gretchen is surveying. She should just go in and talk to people. It'll go really well. Kanika hands you a pair of earbuds. We can feed your questions if you get stuck, and Stella can give you a heads up if Tabitha's headed your way. Dang, I miss doing this sort of thing with you. You're so thorough. Aw, thanks. I do my best. I guess we should part ways and start the call, yeah? Stella and Kanika break off, leaving you alone at the entrance to the mines. Your phone buzzes. Hey, can you hear us? Try saying something. Won't people notice that I've got earbuds on? People these days have all kinds of things in their ears. It's called multitasking. We'll be fine. Nothing to do now, but enter. So we enter. Alright, Morpheus. Good to know. You approach the nearest group of miners. A blind woman. That'd be interesting, huh? A blonde woman, a broad-shouldered man, and an old-timer. Their uniforms identify them as Harrison, Davis, and Sachs. You got a reason to be bothering us? You know anything about a guy named Wayne? Yeah, we knew him. He was such a cut-up. Miss that dude. What happened to him? The miners shift for a moment, uncomfortably glancing at one another. Isn't that the guy y'all said that was, he's gone. That's all that matters. What happened to him? What are you, some sort of cop? Just tell me what happened. Oh my gosh. Hey, Zax, come on, man. No. I've been here decades longer than you, and I know bait when I see it. Let's get out of here. Our shift's about to start anyways. Sorry. Messed up. Before you can reach the miners, you're struck by an intense feeling. You recognize the hollow terror as the same thing you felt last night when you set eyes on that awful man in the miner's jacket. Hi, Wayne. You shouldn't have come here. It's dangerous. What are you? Flesh and blood, much like yourself. You don't have to be afraid of me. I am the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety. Don't forget that. Even if it's already too late to stop what's going to happen. Yeah? Where were you while I was in the woods? Watching. I would have stepped in if you were ever truly in danger. Get back here! Hey, Starlet, are you still there? We've just been getting static from you. Oh, don't mind me. Our new friend just stopped by to say hello. Whoa. I thought I saw you talking to someone down there. Are you okay? Ooh. Whatever he is, I don't think he's human. I hate to say it, but with how the call went static, what if he's a ghost? Like, actually a ghost. You hate to say it, Stella, I don't think anything would make you happier than Wayne being a ghost. Also, ghosts aren't real. Hey now, just because I want ghosts to be real doesn't mean I want this ghost harassing Starlet. He said some real ominous shit to me. I'm the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety. That sort of thing. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Yeah, I care about your safety. Thanks, Stella. Wayne trying to make me leave just means that we're on the right track. I'm not about to back down. Oh, so brave. Heck yeah, Starlet. We've got your back. Hey there, can we help you with something? Have you fellas seen anything out of the ordinary lately? Like what? Have you seen any weird animals? Don't tend to go on many hikes. Not exactly the nature-seeing type. After a full day of work, all I see is my bed. Maybe a few beers in between. Any odd noises in the woods? I heard something a few nights ago, like nothing I've ever heard. Some unearthly beast. Telling you, Isaacs, you need to take a sick day. You need rest, man. I've already taken a sick day this year. Can't afford to take any more if I want to have Christmas off. Tabitha. Can't be that bad here, right? Have you heard any knocking in the mines? Knocking? Not that I've heard. Can't hear shit down there with the machines and men working. My dad used to work these mines before they brought in the continuous miner. The big machine, that is. He told me stories about something that sounded like someone was pounding on the walls. No offense, Isaacs, but your daddy has a few screws loose. Rodriguez. He was a fine man. Have people been getting sick? You a health inspector or something? The boss looks out for our health. Do any of you know a man named Wayne? Wayne? Do you mean Sam Wayne? What are you asking about him for? Wait, have you seen him? I saw him just now. He muttered some creepy stuff to me and disappeared. I knew it! He probably just got back to camp after whatever he went off to do. Hold on a tick. Creepy isn't exactly his MO. You know that, Isaacs. How do you know it was Sam Wayne? I don't recall seeing your face around here before. That's what the folks at the general store have been calling him. Kanika and Sybil. Good people. But I don't expect they know every mining fella in town by sight, if you catch my drift. Smith, you're losing me. I'm just saying, it'd be awfully strange for Wayne to still be in town, wandering around, following some stranger and not checking in with any of his buddies. Sounds to me like somebody who got sick of work and is having a little fun playing hooky. The following, though... Okay, yeah, that does sound a little unlike him. I thought his lady friend had him under lock and key. Just smells fishy to me. Until I see him face to face, I'm not convinced whoever is calling himself Sam Wayne ain't the very reason we haven't seen hide nor hair of the man. No, there's no way. He's not. He can't be. I'm not ruling it out. If you want my theory, that girlfriend of his, he wasn't the first to catch her eye. Any one of her jilted ex-lovers could have seen them sneaking around and gotten a little hot under the collar, if you catch my meaning. Dang, who are they talking about? The miners are silent for a moment, glancing between each other nervously as they imagine the possibility. I told him not to get involved with her. I told him. Who was Wayne seeing? Whoa, now, if you don't know, there's no way I'm poking that wasp's nest. Forget we said anything. Yeah, I don't want to be next on the chopping block. Come on, don't dangle something like that. Look, I just don't want to cause any trouble. Enough people are losing their jobs as is. I've got mouths to feed. Losing their jobs, and in Sam Wayne's case, disappearing. We've already said too much. Come on, boys. Should we check in? Just as a heads up, the only group I still see out there is pretty close to the main office. It might still be worth talking to them, but I don't know if I can give you all that much of a warning if Tabitha comes out. I want to try. Good luck! Going around asking questions, huh? You don't look like you're from the inspector's office. Have you noticed anything strange around here lately? All kinds of weird stuff happens in these hills. What kind of weird do you mean? People getting sick? I mean, some of the older miners, sure, but I wouldn't call that unusual. Saw a raccoon with a big old tumor last week. Spooked me something awful. That's nature for you. Not always pretty. Leave this place. A darkness looms heavy in the air. Can't you feel it? I'm too old to be going anywhere else. Scarlet Hollow's where I live, and it'll be where I die, whether that's sooner or later. You know, maybe I'll cash in a few sick days. Head up to see my cousins in Nashville. Just in case. Have you heard any knocking in the mines? Of course we have. We're old-timers. All of us who was here before the machine got brought in know the Tommy knockers. What a nuisance. Always stealing my hammers. It's true. Had a pickaxe stolen too. And when you heard knocking coming from one of the old tunnels, it was enough to make a man pray. Looks like I figured out what to do for my next video. You better not be thinking of going into those old mine shafts alone. I could always use a partner in crime. Going to wind up going down there with you, aren't I? Any noises from the woods? All the time. Howling, screaming, all sorts of fiendish caterwauling. Probably just screech owls and bobcats, you old coot. Might be, might not be. But I heard something the other night that sent the fear of God shivering down my spine, I tell you. It's probably additionally a portent of doom. A what now? Ditchlings? My grandma used to tell me stories about them. Claimed she saw one once, and that's why she always had such bad luck. Guess it's not just my mom. What can you tell me about Sam Wayne? Oh, he got himself into trouble, didn't he? Why? You seen him around? What's that young buck up to? I think he's doing a slasher movie. I think he's been doing a slasher movie, but in real life. I bumped into him twice now, and his clothes were soaked in blood. What? You mean like going around killing people in a hockey mask? Now that's quite a development. Here I figured he'd just run off to live in that big mansion with his belle. Stella audibly gasps. The thought of a strapping young man like him with that sour-faced broad always left such a bad taste in my mouth. Oh, gross. As if you wouldn't fall on your knees if a woman of means showed the slight bit of interest in you. Or any woman at all. Fair enough. But I suppose this begs the question. Did she run him off, or did some jealous son of a bitch oust him? Wait, are you talking about Tabitha? Yup. Dang, I figured that's what they were getting at, but it's weird to hear it out loud. You good, Stella? Yeah, I just had no idea. That's all. Thanks for the help. My pleasure. If that Wayne keeps bothering you, just let us know, and we'll whip him into shape. Starlet, I think we've got a problem. Hi, Tabitha. What the hell are you doing here? Aw, crap. Good luck. Sorry, Starlet. And that's our cue. Pardon us. You shouldn't be here. This place is dangerous. Why can't you just stay in the estate and stop sticking your nose where it doesn't belong? What is that ridiculous thing doing in your ears? Are you trying to record my employees? Are you trying to record me? Tabitha snatches the earbuds out of your ears and throws them to the ground. Typical phone-addicted city dweller. And I have a meeting in 5 minutes. I can't even drive you back. Okay, look. I don't want you wandering anywhere else. Just stay here for an hour. I can take you back to the estate as soon as my meeting wraps up. Can you please do that for me? I need you to take what's going on right now seriously. I need you to take me seriously. And what, pray tell, do you think is going on that I'm not taking seriously? What monster of the week has Stella cooked up inside your head? I think that there might be a mind collapse soon. The creatures I saw last night are supposed to be some sort of portent of doom. I'm just doing whatever I can to keep people safe. Look, I get it. I really do. Stella has a knack for spinning people into hysterics over shadows. But the only credible threat to the mines right now is me not being able to do my job. Speaking of, I need to get to my meeting. Just stay here until I come get you, and don't move a muscle. We can talk about whatever monsters you think you saw after I get the rest of this day behind me. Tabitha rushes off to her meeting. You stoop to the ground and pick up Kanika's earbuds. Sorry I wasn't able to give you a better warning. You good? Yeah, I'm good. You're interrupted by a sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. Hey, I think I just saw Rosalina. Wait, really? What is she doing here? We should call Oscar. Let's handle that after we catch up with her. Rush over the hill and get your bearings, the sounds of active mining fading into the distance. Rosalina is nowhere to be found, but dusty footprints point toward a nearby mine. Something about the mine feels wrong, as though a cold anger lies burning inside, sucking the life from the surrounding hills. This is the site of a mass grave. She didn't. I guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. I did read about this place. But the Shaw mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago. After a collapse that killed over 100 people. Here I thought Stella was going to be the one to drag me into an abandoned coal mine. Hey, remember all those bad feelings I got last night? This place feels straight up cursed. Oh. Yeah, no, that looks nice. Hi, Gretchen. Yeah, that's ominous, huh? I mean, like Kanika said, a lot of people died down there. There's a lot of spooky history to this place. For all we know, maybe all that death left some kind of mark down there. Okay, just because a bunch of people died in there, it doesn't mean it's cursed. Come on, I'm not about to let Rosalina get hurt in there. Even if it means I have to go underground. Whoa, you sure, Neeks? Starlet and I can handle this on our own. Yeah, I'm sure. As much as I hate confined spaces, I hate the thought of other people getting trapped down there even more. Stella and Kanika disappear into the mines. Before you follow, you briefly wonder if you should let Tabitha know about this. Hee. You know I'm in a meeting. A kid just snuck into the Shaw mine. I figured you should know. What? Are you serious? Why do things keep happening to me? Ugh, whatever, I'll head over there as soon as I can. Just stay where you are and wait for me, alright? I don't even know why I'm trying to reason with you. It's not like you'll listen. I called you as a courtesy. There's an achievement for that? But I'm not going to wait around for you. I swear to God. I'm sorry, but my mind's made up. You hang up the call. Take a deep breath and follow your new friends into the mine. The inside of the mine is warmer than you'd expected. The air thick and wet. The ceiling hangs much lower than you are tall, forcing you and your companions to hunch over, your legs bent in a painful squat as you begin to navigate its maze of corridors. Oh my word. Hey, you made it. Told you she would. I just wanted to make a quick call and give Tabitha the 411. You didn't. I was hoping we'd be able to get Rosalina out of here without anyone calling the cops on her. Or us. Tabitha had better not try to have us arrested for trespassing. Oh, I wouldn't worry about her calling the cops. I've snuck into the mine dozens of times, and she's never called the cops on me. That's because you two have a weird thing. I'm pretty sure Tabitha actively hates me, and believe me, the feeling is extremely mutual. Well, what matters is that the gang's all here. We'll find Rosalina in no time. The deeper you progress into the mine, the heavier the air becomes. Coal dust hangs in thick clouds around you, even though this place was abandoned over a century ago. Jesus, it's cramped down here. Does anyone else's chest feel tight? Yeah, abandoned mines are way more claustrophobic than people expect them to be, and this one's real bad. You know, because of the child miners. Or should I say, the minor miners? Kanika visibly shudders. Okay, I'm not superstitious, but if there's one way to make sure you get haunted, it's cracking jokes about dead child laborers while walking on their graves. What can I say? I do my best to tempt the spirits wherever I go. I actually snuck down here a few times to try and get some good footage. Part of my ghost hunting phase. Jesus, Stella, the things you do for your viewers. Did you find anything? I wish. If any place in Scarlet Hollow was actually haunted, it'd be this mine, hands down. But all I got was dust in my lungs and a couple of false alarms. Stella pauses as sound rushes overhead. Oh my God, what was that? The mine's going to collapse and we're all going to die here, aren't we? Stella sighs longingly. Longingly? That's just how wind sounds down here. You sound so disappointed. It just brings back memories of my last foray into these depths. Every time I thought I'd finally found a spooky ghost there, wound up being a very unghostly explanation. Like local wildlife, for instance. Stella turns her flashlight up towards an alcove overhead. Those guys got me real good last time I was here alone. My god, there are bats down here? I'm going to get rabies, aren't I? I'm going to get rabies and die in a mine collapse. Nika's my spirit right now. I'll be so for real. You holding up okay, Neeks? Yeah, sorry. Just a little on edge. Kanika stopped mid-sentence by a thunderous knock echoing from deeper in the mine. Okay, what was that? That was... I have no idea what that was. Did that sound like knocking to you guys? A hateful and broken presence stirs in the deep. It doesn't want you here. Oh, good. That was a warning. We have to move fast before something terrible happens here. Whoa, you don't think it's Tommyknockers, do you? Okay, no. Tommyknockers are not real. They're not allowed to be real. Are you trying to give me a panic attack? I'd love to spend some extra time poking around down here. Maybe it's got something to do with a mystery. Three of you are interrupted by a second, much less distant sound of a can being popped open. Okay, now that wasn't Tommyknockers. It came from this way. Follow me. These kids are in so much trouble. So true. You and Kanika follow Stella further into the mine. You breathe a sigh of relief as the tight passageways give way to a small cavern. A group of teens turns and stares at you with annoyance. What the hell are you all doing here? What the hell are you doing here? You creeps? Are you stalking us? Yeah, creeps. I just said that, Alexis. If I wanted an echo, I'd yell into the Grand Canyon. Oh, I do like being mystical. Yeah. There's something terrible in this place that wants to be left alone. Get out of here before it leaves its mark on you. Tell your creepy friend to leave us alone, General Store Lady. Rosalina, your dad is worried sick about you. And if you ask me, he was right to worry. Why the hell would you think hanging out in an old mine would be a good idea? Is the Maxwell place not dangerous enough? Because no one usually comes in here, duh. Everyone knows we hang out at the Maxwell place now, so we had to find a new hideout. Which you instantly found, so I guess we have to find an even more secluded place where we can just be ourselves. I can't believe your dad sent people to follow you, Rosalina. That's messed up. I think that qualifies as harassment. You're right, Becca. It is messed up. I don't need him telling me where I can be. You could at least check in so he knows you're not dead. He loves you and worries about you. He's really not asking for much. Don't you kids have school tomorrow anyways? It's fall break. We're not kids. Yeah, we're teens. That's how you know that they're very much so kids. The clarification is very important. Are those canned strawberry margaritas? Where did you even get those? The teens avoid eye contact. Miles tries to melt into the cavern wall. Oh no. I know that isn't you, Miles. It had better not be you. Yeah, whatever. It's me. What are you even doing here? Becca's right. Sounds to me like you're stalking and harassing and all that. You're supposed to be minding the store. It's not like anyone even comes in on Tuesdays. And Mom's there, so it's fine. Eyes start uncomfortably around the cavern as Kanika tears into her brother. It's not fine. It's extremely not fine. Do I always have to be the responsible one? You know what I would give to be as carefree as you? I left school so you would have a chance to live your life, and this is what you're doing with it? What would Dad think if he could see this? Stealing booze from the family store to dick around in an abandoned mine? Dad's dead, Kanika. But if you were here, he'd be disappointed you wound up being such a bossy jerk. Who cares if we're having canned margaritas somewhere nobody's supposed to bother us? If these kids want to make bad decisions, that's on them. They're old enough to deal with the consequences of their actions. They're not going to listen to us anyway. Oh my god, stop talking about us like we aren't here. Yeah, we can hear you. Alexis, don't butt in. I'm trying to make a point. My dad is a foreman at the continuous mining facility, and he says the only reason they stopped using this tunnel is because there wasn't enough coal left. I thought your dad was a charge hand. No, Alexis, he got promoted last month, and he says this place is totally safe and we can hang out here anytime we want. Correction, your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job tomorrow morning. What? Oh, shit. Oh, hey, Tabby. Kanika sighs. It's probably for the best that she's here. Do none of you understand what a boarded-up mine entrance is supposed to mean? It means it's closed, condemned, not fit for human use. Come on, this place is way sturdy. Check it out. The teen with the beanie jumps up and slaps his strut on the ceiling. Oh, was that the knocking we were hearing earlier? Oh my god, Zane. Cut it out. You're embarrassing us. I'm sorry for Zane's behavior. I don't think he realizes how extremely 8th grade it is to jump up and hit things. No offense, Rosalina. None taken. The other 8th graders are totally immature. Not like you, Rosalina. You're chill. And smart, too. Enough. The damage is already done. Now, leave. I'm tired of people in this town dragging my cousin headlong into danger. Aw. I can't believe I actually agree with Tabitha about anything, but this is the worst place I've ever been in my entire life, and I would like to see the sun again before I die. Oh, come on, you guys. Maybe it's not a big deal. We used to do dangerous things all the time, and I still do dangerous things now. Who are we to tell them where they can hang out? I don't know who you think you are in this situation, Stella, but I own this mine. It is entirely within my rights to tell them to leave, much like it is entirely within my rights to tell you to leave. Was your lifetime ban for my mines not a clear enough message for you? Hell yeah, Tabitha. Tear the sad 20-something to shreds, that's crazy. Hey, I'm defending you. I'm not sad. Where'd you get that idea? Running a clickbaity YouTube channel where you run around in the woods chasing nothing is extremely sad. So she's sad. So what? Give it a few years and you'll be sad too. The passage of time is inescapable. Look, we just wanted to give Rosalina a good time. Her home life sucks right now. Yeah, tell him about where you have to sleep, Rosalina. You've been living in the library for the past couple weeks. Dad says we can't stay at our house. Got a hot plate and a couple cots in one of the back rooms. It's actually a pretty sick setup. No, it isn't, Zane. Rosalina deserves better. I don't care about your home life. If you're going to do your underage drinking, go do it in the woods. Just get off of my property. Tabitha. Look, Rosalina, I'm sure Oscar has a good reason for all that. He's a good guy, and he cares about you. He thinks our house is haunted. Oh. Wait, what? And I should care because it's a bullshit excuse. I bet he couldn't afford it anymore and is lying to you to save face. What a coward. Becca, I don't think you can, say that about other people's families. Isn't that, bullying or something? Shut up, Zane. Back up. He says it's haunted? Can't believe he didn't mention it to me. I could investigate. There's no ghost, Stella. It would be cool if there was, but Becca's right. I just wish he would be honest with me and tell me what's really going on. It's like he doesn't think I can handle it, like I'm still a little kid. Ugh, you're all children, and none of you realize how good you have it. Back in the day, each and every one of you would be pulling 12-hour shifts in this exact mine. If it weren't for child labor laws, the 5 of you might have some actual character. Exactly! Rosalina's not that mature anyways. She still sleeps with stuffed animals. That doesn't mean she's not mature. I still have pork chop, you know. I rest my case. Wait, what did you say about child labor? What would Scarlet... Whoa, what would Starlet say? You're right. Oscar should treat you more like an adult. At least one of you sees reason. Thanks, weird stranger. Wish it were easier to convince him of that. Yo, we should break in and, like, ghost bust it or something. Oh my god, Zane. You can't ghost bust if there is no ghost. Also, Rosalina lives there. She can't break into her own house. If there's no ghost that you know of, I bet we could figure out how to bust it if it's actually real, and if it isn't real, well, problem solved. You know, Rosalina, you could always stay over at my house until Stella ghost busts your place. We have a finished basement with a pull-out couch. Why are we talking about this like it's a thing? It's not a thing. There is no ghost. I don't care, and I can't believe I wasted this much time trying to argue with children. I'm washing my hands of this and calling the cops. Feel free to leave before they show up. You hear that, Miles? We're leaving. I suggest the rest of you kids leave this empty mine before someone gets black lung, or gets crushed by rocks, or meets any one of many terrible fates people tend to meet in abandoned mines. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. That wasn't me, I swear. Then what was it? Come on, Stella. Didn't you have a whole list of perfectly natural explanations for scary mine noises? It's Tommyknockers for sure. I know this isn't why we came down here, but we've gotta check it out. Stella. Nobody is going deeper into the mine. Nobody is staying in the mine. You're all leaving. Please listen to Tabitha before my heart gives out. It'll be fun, Neeks. It will not. Wait a second. Where'd 3 of you run off to? Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Wow, Kanika, maybe if you weren't still scared of the dark or whatever, you would have noticed them sneak off. I noticed them sneak off, and like, I've been zoning out the whole time we've been here. They must have squeezed through that child-sized tunnel. Dang, I've always wondered where that goes. I've never been able to get these hips through there. Stella, stop sneaking into my mines. Please. I am literally begging you. If only all the tunnels down here were wide enough for adults, we could already be done with this little mess. But no, there just have to be remnants from a bygone era. Didn't you just talk about how child labor was the good old days a minute ago? I was trying to get you to leave my mine. Becca's head pops out from the tunnel's entrance. We are not about to let you come in here and ruin our good time. The mine is safe. I've been here 1,000,000 times. Yeah, if Becca says we're safe, then we're totally safe. Whatever. Come on, you two. I know a cool spot this way. Okay. I think I know where that tunnel rejoins the rest of the mines. I'll go look for them, and I want each and every one of you to take note of the fact that I'm doing that. If those idiots get themselves lost and die, I am not letting their families sue me into the ground. Are those really your priorities right now? Yeah? Do you have a problem with that? I want the rest of you out of my mine. Except for you, Starlet. I'm not letting you out of my sight. Yeah, sure. I could never fit in that tunnel anyways. They have crossed a barrier that I cannot, so my time here is up. But only because Stella promised me a ghost hunt tomorrow. Whatever. I still have to do my dailies anyways, and the service down here sucks. I will happily escort these two knuckleheads out. No, you are not going to weasel your way into this, Stella. Aw, come on, Tabby. I've been down here a ton. I can totally help out. Tabitha's eyes. What a beautiful, beautiful picture. There's no getting rid of you, is there? Fine, I won't waste my time arguing. I've read a lot of stories about cave rescuers needing their own rescues. Are we biting off more than we can chew? Should we get some professionals down here? I am a professional. I'd also prefer to resolve this issue without word getting out if possible. Again, I don't want to deal with angry parents trying to sue me for their own negligence. Inspiring. Don't worry, Starlet. It'll be fun. And safe. Okay. I'm sure that's exactly what you told her last night, and we all know how that ended. Scarlet Hollow, indeed. Hello, hello, friend. Mystical, I will love. Oh, mystical and book smart. Speaking of. There's no way around it. It isn't just those kids. Something is calling out to us from down below. Noted. Let's not linger any longer than we have to, shall we? Want me to take Gretchen with me? I don't know if it'll be easier to cover more ground without her. Yeah, that's probably for the best. I don't want a repeat of last night, and who knows if we'll have to do any climbing. See you on the other side. Hopefully soon. For sure. It won't be long. Cool. Can't wait to bust some ghosts tomorrow. Kanika, Miles, and Zane head towards the entrance of the mines, leaving you, Tabitha, and Stella to find the remaining teens. Alright, no dawdling. We should be able to catch up with them if we go this way. I want you guys to know, you guys can't see me doing this, but I roll my eyes when I speak as Tabitha. Goodness gracious. You and Stella exchange a glance as Tabitha ventures forward. Let's do this thing. Truly getting into character. Absolutely. I love acting. As the three of you move deeper into the mine, you hear echoes of conversation bounce across the walls. Becca? Why are we doing this again? I thought you thought Tabitha was, like, really cool. Why are you trying to get her all mad? Tabitha listening. We're doing this because Tabitha is really cool. She doesn't let anyone boss her around, so we can't just let her boss us around. Aw, you hear that, Tabby? Someone thinks you're cool. Can't believe she used to hang out with a nobody like Stella. Okay. Becca. Hey. I don't know. I think Stella's kinda cool. Her videos are really neat. Oh, come on. She doesn't even have a sponsor. What kind of YouTuber doesn't have a sponsor? I mean, not yet. But I'm in talks with Meat Rice, trademark. And I make plenty from ads and donations. How does it feel to have a teen girl think you're cool, Tabitha? I feel nothing about it. The opinions of children don't interest me. I don't know, you kind of hesitated there. You're reading into things that aren't there, Stella. Just because your livelihood revolves around what people think of you doesn't mean that I care what people think of me. Congratulations on your sponsor, though. Oh, Tabby. Dang, Stella, meat rice? That's a big deal. They're on like every big podcast. Thank you, thank you. Feels like a really big step for the channel. I just wish Becca hadn't said all the things she'd said tonight. She's just mean. She's just mean. It had nothing to do with you. You've seen how she's treated everyone tonight. Except Tabitha. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm surprised you don't have thicker skin about this, Stella. You've never struck me as someone who let other people's opinions bother you. If you did, I wouldn't have to try so hard to keep you off of my property. Well, I know you don't mean it. Agree to disagree. I feel like Scarlet would not care either way, so we press on. Another knock, closer, interrupts your thoughts, followed by another. Followed by another. Is it just me, or is that knocking coming from the same direction as those kids? It's not just you. Okay, that knocking is starting to freak me out. Calm down, Rosalina. It's just mind sounds. Did you guys see that? No. It was just a shadow. There's no reason to get freaked out. I saw it. Shut up! There's nothing down here. Stop trying to scare me. They better get grounded. That sounds just the active mind echoing through the walls, right? Nah, it's Tommyknockers. I'm sure of it. It's not Tommyknockers. That being said, it's also definitely not the active mine. We use a machine these days and it sounds nothing like that. It's probably just rocks falling somewhere deeper in the mine, which is also bad, for obvious reasons. I knew coming down here was a bad idea. Those kids are going to die, and then we're going to die too. Nobody is going to die unless you start panicking. Get a grip on yourself. I'm not panicking, I'm just saying it's a bad idea. We press on. I can't imagine going into tunnels like these though. Like, I feel like a part of me would be intrigued, but then I would actually not want to. Like, I don't know if I'm claustrophobic, but I feel like if anything were to make me claustrophobic, it would be little cave tunnels that you can crawl through. Hardly. As you progress deeper into the mine, the knocking grows more frequent. It's still distant, but it's much louder than before. The tunnel ends abruptly in front of you. A century-old ladder is the only way forward. In the darkness beyond, you can still hear the echoes of terrified teens, their panicked arguing bouncing down the pitch-black corridors. The pit radiates rage, a white-hot anger. It hates you. But at the heart of it, you can sense something else, the quiet hum of a darker presence. The heart calls to you, desperate to be witnessed. Oh, I love the mystical trait so much. And here we are. The tunnel they crawled through passes through the chamber below. It shouldn't be hard to find them once we get down there. I've never been this far in. Congratulations, Stella. You got what you wanted. Tabitha crawls up to the ladder and disappears over its edge. Alright, let's do this. Stella hoists herself over the edge and begins the climb down. You walk to the ladder and also climb down. Yippee skippy. I'm pretty sure this is the way back. Come on. pretty sure. I thought you'd been down here before. Okay, maybe I didn't get this far in, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I definitely remember the way out. Hurry, I don't want to be down here anymore. I think it was actually this way. Oh, shut up. No one even wanted you to come with us anyway. Becca. Yep, they're close alright. Good thing they're so damn loud. It sounds like they're really lost. The voices around you, those of the teens and your companions, sound odd, distant. There is something in the darkness before you that's much louder. Oh, you don't hear it. You don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest. A desperate need to perceive and be perceived. Hey, are you alright, Scarlet? What do you think you're doing? Get away from there. Your cousin dives towards you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. You said we wouldn't use this shipment. You know it's compromised. We couldn't afford to wait on new wood, Charles. We had to go ahead with it. No. It's still sturdy enough. It'll get the job done. Yeah, you liar. Whatever. Starlet? Starlet, are you alright? Oh, thank God you're alive. It looked like you had a seizure or something, and then you and Tabby just conked out. Fine. You can barely open your eyes. You're not fine. Neither of you move a muscle. I don't know what my voice just did. I don't want you straining yourselves while you're still recovering from whatever that was. I'm going to get you both some help. I'll be back soon. I promise. Don't die on me, alright? Alright? Fade back out of consciousness as your companion clambers out of the pit, intent on your rescue. You raise up on your elbows, head still swimming from the visions, your surroundings coming back into focus. Your head throbs as the knocking continues, now magnitudes more intense than ever. Through it, you once again hear the panicked voices of bickering teenagers echoing down the stone corridors. Becca, you're just getting us more lost. It's this way. If you're so sure, then why don't you just leave? I can't believe I let Alexis talk me into inviting you in the first place. Becca, I'm just trying to help. I said go. Okay, I will. Alexis, you don't have to go with her. You know that, right? Take a side, Alexis. I'm sure Becca knows where we're going. She wouldn't just lie. Sorry, Rosalina. The increasingly desperate voices of the teens are drowned out by the thunderous knocking. You can practically feel the ground shake beneath you. You can almost see the walls vibrate with the intensity of the hellish sound. Oh, knocking is not helping my headache. What the hell just happened? Oh. Both of us were shown the dark truth of this place, the sins that were committed, the deaths that followed. There's gotta be fumes or something down here. It's an old mine. These places are death traps. We probably just hallucinated. Are you literally gaslighting me? Are you literally gaslighting me? I said I saw it too. Stop being weird. We're leaving. Rosalina appears in the passageway to your left, out of breath and teary-eyed. I'm so sorry I snuck off like that. I just wanted Alexis to think I was cool. The entire cavern shakes with the sound of rockfall. I don't know what the hell is up with this knocking, but that is the sound of a vine collapse. Quick, up that ladder, both of you. Oh, wait. Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them here. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Do you have a death wish, little girl? This isn't a movie. The best thing we can do to help those girls right now is to not be buried alive ourselves. Okay, let's do this. No Man Left Behind! What a nice achievement name. Oh, Rosalina looks so... not happy, relieved, that's it. Scarlet, don't do this to me. Ooh. I like both of these options. Oh, which one's more Scarlet? Don't you do this to them. Are you trying to get us killed? Thank you, they're back this way. Hurry! Rosalina runs back the way she came. You run after her. Your mind shake with each new thunderous blow as bits of rock and dust fall off the ceiling and scatter on the floor around you. Rosalina leads the way, and Tabitha isn't far behind you. I thought you knew the way out. I thought you'd been down here a million times already. I was making it up, okay? I swear to God, Scarlet, if we get stuck down here... Oh my... Oh, goodness. You'll what? Kill me? And you'd be stuck down here and alone. Are you trying to push my buttons? We're coming. Just stay where you are. Rosalina, you came back. I don't want to die down here. Then move. Okay. You quickly push your way back towards this entrance, pieces of fallen rock littering the path around you. All of you, start climbing. Now. Once the last teen is up, Tabitha grabs onto the ladder and starts climbing. You follow suit and start climbing. Don't look at me like that, Tabitha, okay? This way. Come on. Your cousin moves with the kind of swiftness you'd expect from someone who spent her entire working life in and around coal mines. Her lungs are probably awful. Can you just listen to someone other than yourself, Becca? I'm sorry, okay? God. You push forward, your burning muscles giving way to pure adrenaline. To your horror, you can see cracks forming on the walls of the tunnel. Come on, we gotta go faster. Almost there. I can see the entrance. Your surroundings quake as the mine collapses around you. And then the knocking fades, and you feel safe, having arrived back at the entrance in one piece. Poor Rosalina, indeed. Rosalina, are you okay? Oh, Tabitha looks so concerned. Clearly she's not okay, idiot. Shut up, Becca. I didn't know. It was your idea to go down there in the first place. This is your fault. Shit, why? Why did this have to happen? Okay, the knocking stopped at least. All of you stay exactly where you are. I'm going to make some calls. This really hurts. Stella and Kanika pop their heads through the mine entrance. Tabitha just stormed out of there, are you... Oh my god. Rosalina, can you hear me? We're gonna get you out of here, okay? Stella already called an ambulance. I have Mystical and Booksmart, which I've been enjoying a good bit. But that means cops are gonna come. They're gonna know I was drinking. They're gonna know we went in there to drink, right? Becca, that doesn't matter. If my dad finds out, he'll kill me. He can't know. Becca squirms through the gap in the boards and scampers away. Right, Mystic's so cool. I'm really glad I picked it for a first playthrough. Don't worry about her, Rosalina. She's being an asshole. One of us should wait by the gate to make sure they can find us up here. I should check in with Tabby, see if she needs help. We're going to get you help. Everything's gonna be okay. Alright, I'll go down to the gate. Rosalina, I'm so sorry. I'll be back soon. We're gonna get you out of here and you're gonna be just fine, okay? Charlotte and Alexis will keep you safe until then. Gretchen. Am I gonna die? Rosalina, don't say things like that. There's only the present moment. Just focus on your breath. Thanks, darling. Rosalina's breath comes in quick, irregular bursts. If I don't make it, tell my dad I'm sorry. I'm the one who has something to be sorry about. This is all me and Becca's fault. We never should have gone down there. It's not your fault. I went down there because I wanted to. Rosalina pauses, catching her breath. Thank you, Starlet. I'm glad everyone else made it out okay. Couldn't have done it without your help. I'm just sorry I couldn't do more. I didn't stick with Becca once we started getting lost. Or this would have happened. I'd just been more smart or more brave, but I wasn't. And now Rosalina is... It's just not fair. You're the nicest person I know, Rosalina. It's not fair that this happened to you, and I'm so sorry. It's okay, Alexis. It's okay. I can't believe you're the one comforting me. Rosalina, can you hear me? Yeah, just hurts like hell. Sorry, I shouldn't be pushing you to talk. I'll just hold your hand until they come back with help, okay? No. Alexis grasps Rosalina's hand. Tears streak down both of their cheeks as you sit in silence together, waiting for the long, anxious moments to pass before help arrives. Some of my men are on the way with rock lifts. We'll get you out of there soon. They're over here, Earl. Jesus H. Christ, you weren't kidding about the emergency. It'll still be a bit for the ambulance. The nearest depot is over in Brevard, so it'll be at least another half hour. You heard the man. You have half an hour to get her out of there. Move it. Rosalina, sweetie, I'm here. Dad, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't have to be sorry. It's okay. We're all here. You can hang on, Rosalina. No, you can. Tabitha's men quickly get to work and manage to pull Rosalina out from the rubble just as the ambulance arrives. Sir, I'm afraid there's no space in the back. What do you mean? I can't ride with her? You're better off driving behind us. We're heading to Brevard, so it's quite a ways. Is she going to be okay? She's going to make it right. Please, God. Yes, sir. I promise you we're going to do everything we can to keep her stable. Her vitals are looking good. Rosalina, my poor baby. I'll be there as fast as I can, okay? I promise you won't be alone. I love you, Dad. Paramedics load Rosalina into the back of the ambulance and drive off. Oscar approaches you off to the side as the police talk to Tabitha and her men. What the hell happened in there? At least nobody died. Gotta go with mystical, at least most of the times, because it's fun. It's like the seams of reality are fraying here. Nobody is safe. Ominous, but not helpful. What Starlet is trying to say is that Tommyknockers brought down the mind. I can't believe they're actually real, but I got some audio of the knocking on my phone. They must have been furious that we went down there. It doesn't matter what caused it. I'm just sorry it happened, Oscar. This is all my fault. She's been so angry with me. If I'd just been able to provide more stability, she wouldn't be doing things like this. Putting herself in danger. I'm sure she thinks I'm making things up about our house being haunted, but I've seen things that I can't explain, and it's only gotten worse over time. She told us about it down the mine. For what it's worth, I believe you. No comment, but after tonight, I don't know. Once you're back from the hospital, we can check it out for you. Thanks, Stella. That means a lot. I've gotta go. Mr. Gutierrez? Oh my word. Mouth, work. Gutierrez? Is it okay if I come too? I want to be there for her. Of course, Alexis. It'll be good for her to see a friendly face. The two of them head over to Oscar's car and drive off. I can't believe you left us down there. Are you sure those were Tommyknockers? Depends on what you mean by sure. Is anyone really sure of anything? They fit the description pretty well, and I don't know what else they'd be. I have no idea what happened in there. Need to do some reading on mind collapses, I guess. I saw something down there, like the shadows of dead miners. They were right behind you right before you left, and they followed us when we went after Becca and Alexis. Did you not see them? Whoa, I didn't see anything other than the two of you in that carving. That's super weird. I don't want to doubt what you experienced, but you were deep in a dark, abandoned coal mine. You might have just been primed to see things. You know, now that I think about it, that totally fits the profile for some of the Tommyknocker stories. What if they're actual, bona fide ghosts? Oh, Stella. Do you think Rosalina is going to be okay? Paramedic said she was stable. She's a tough kid. She'll be okay. Something's telling me that this was only the beginning of our ditchling problem. Now that you mention it, Kanika's mom said that the numbers we saw in the woods were a big deal. Nobody even died here tonight, and I feel like we're left with even more questions than we had this morning. And we had a lot of questions this morning. But hey, maybe we just averted whatever disaster they were here to predict, though. This is all still a little too magic for me. Just because two bad things have happened doesn't mean there's a pattern, right? What happens now? What happens now? We go home. Now hold up. Now hold on a minute, Miss Scarlet. Mind if we have a quick word with your cousin, miss? In private? Okay, fine. Just make it quick. And don't you dare try and pull anything on her. She did nothing wrong here. Thank you, Tabitha. Ladies, I'm afraid that means you too. Don't you need to talk to us? We witnessed this too. Oh, sure. That can wait. We know where to find y'all. What a coincidence, running into you 2 nights in a row. This is my colleague, Deputy Derrickson. Pleased to meet you, Starlet. Apologies for my absence yesterday. It was my special bowling night, you see. A man has to have his me time. But I was briefed on the events of last night, even though we're still not sure if what went on could be considered a crime. Duke has been missing since then, though we found neither hide nor hair of him. Could be he's just on an extended hunting trip. I can tell you he's not. It wouldn't be the first time he's done something like that. I was told the footage showed his supposed body, but we couldn't get that camera working, so no way to confirm until we track him down. Now, I understand both of these were terribly unfortunate accidents that had nothing to do with you being in the area. But as officers of the law, you have to understand that we get a little suspicious when we see those same face multiple times in a row. And, we have to ask, what exactly were these teens doing in a shuttered mine owned by your family? And why were you down there with them? Why are you asking me this? It was a mine collapse. What could I have possibly done that the police would care about? Just trying to gather all the facts. Our duty as officers of the law, you see? Just being thorough. But I see there's not much more to be discussed as of yet. We'll let you go on about your evening, but we may be in touch. Have a good one. Deputy Derrickson tips his hat to you. The two officers wander back towards the mine, Derrickson taking notes as they examine the scene. You make your way towards Stella and Kanika. I just can't believe 2 nights in a row. Is it my fault, Neeks? Stella, no. This is all just an awful coincidence. It's not your fault. Oh, hey. Guess the cops are done with you. What, are they gonna take you in for being present in an accident? Sorry if they gave you a hard time. Small-town cops, you know. Always blame everything on drifters. Even acts of God, I guess. Excellent. You didn't get arrested. Now come on. Let's get back to the estate. I'd like to get some rest before I have to deal with the fallout of everything that happened tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, okay, Starlet? Please stop trying to get my cousin killed, Stella. Come on, let's go. I'm pulling you by your arm. You pull your arm from Tabitha's hand. I can walk to the car on my own. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. You try to keep an eye on the surrounding wilderness as she drives, wary of what may lurk behind the tree line. How are you holding up? Poorly, but I'd really rather we didn't get into it. Sorry about today. Tabitha doesn't answer. Fine. Maybe I'm not sorry. I don't have energy for this. Why do you treat Stella like that? Didn't you two used to be friends? It was a different time in my life. I just wish she'd get that we're not in high school anymore. I'm a different person than whoever she thinks she knows. I don't appreciate being dragged off like that. It's been a long day, Starlet. Are you really going to make a fuss about me bringing you back to the estate? Don't answer that question. I don't have the energy to get into it. Fine. You know, it's funny, when I was deciding, like, what kind of character I'd play as, like, who is Scarlet, besides just having a really I'm of a name, I wasn't initially thinking that it'd be kind of tense, but I really should have, considering what I did know about Starlet. Anyways, your eyes wander back to the tree line as you and Tabitha sink back into silence. You once again cross the threshold into the estate, the musty stench of the decaying mansion greeting you with its undertones of mildew and wood rot. Well, This day was a lot more stressful than it needed to be, and I'm sure it's the precursor to a horrifically stressful week. I'm going to bed. I suggest you do the same. Thanks for calling me about those kids, by the way. It was unexpected. You could have... No, you should have waited for me. I'm too tired to argue. I'll see you in the morning. Tabitha turns and makes her way up the stairs, her posture defeated. You head up to your room to turn in. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. Your phone buzzes on the table. Y'all, these are those things, right? Nika sends a picture of a pair of ditchlings by the side of the road. I saw them again too. Another picture, this time of them staring from a tree. WTF. These things are definitely not hairless monkeys or raccoons or whatever. I don't know what the hell they are. Guess there's more to them being here than the mine collapse. No way I'm sleeping tonight. You think about looking out the guest room window, but at this point, you're too exhausted to leave your bed. The adrenaline from this evening is finally wearing off, replaced by a creeping exhaustion that threatens to overwhelm you. Your limbs feel heavy, your eyelids slipping down over your eyes even as you stare down at the ominous pictures on your phone. If it weren't for the pit of dread balling in your stomach, you would almost feel comfortable as you settle in between the covers, your tired bones sinking into the decrepit mattress. When you close your eyes, you see Rosalina's face, twisted with pain, staring up at you with tear-streaked cheeks, trapped by powers beyond her control, terrified of what her now uncertain future would hold. Your eyes shoot back open, your heart pounding as the door to your room swings open. Just the cat? It's always just the cat. It's nice to see another living being, even one as unfriendly as Tabitha's cat. The comfort of her presence sets your mind at ease, and you finally slip into a deep sleep. I love the cutscenes in this game. I also just love the art in general. Stunning.